We turn our attention to the Cleveland Cavaliers, currently fourth place in the Eastern Conference, just a game out of first, coming off a second game back-to-back. Had a disappointing loss in Detroit against the Pistons. Team wasn't happy about it. Found a way to win at home. Wasn't pretty, but they didn't have Darius Garland. Here is J.B. Bickerstaff on the win over the Pelicans after that loss to the Pistons.
The message was, we're built to win ugly because we can bank on our defense getting the stops that we need to get. So it doesn't have to be pretty for us. But what we can do, and we got to continue to improve is, especially without Darius, is transitioning from defense to offense more quickly to see if we can get some more fast break points and some easier opportunities. When you're coming off a back-to-back in this league is difficult. Coming off a loss, in that first game and then losing Darius obviously is difficult, and then even in this moment, playing the way that we played, as ugly as it was, as frustrating as it was, it would have been easy to lay down on this one. But again, a credit to our guys, they weren't going to let that happen. And we knew when we saw the lineup that they were going to start, that this game was going to come down to a scrap. And I thought our guys did a great job holding up.
Yeah, without question, Tim, the starting five only scored 41 of their 93 points. So Brandon Goodwin had 21 off the bench. Love had a good game off the bench. Cedi Osman started at point guard because of Garland's back. It was a good win after the Pistons loss was the first time where that I've kind of watched it all season. I kind of went, I kind of thought, they didn't do the things they normally do, but they got it corrected. That's a sign of a good team, even though they're young.
Yeah, it's almost commendable that it took until the 50th game of the season to have a real kind of a clunker like that one in Detroit, where they had that lead. They had that 15-0 run, and then it all kind of came apart in the fourth quarter. But Monday night, obviously, I know it's the Pelicans. They're one of the worst teams in the Western Conference. They didn't have Brandon Ingram. They didn't have Zion Williamson. So, it's not an elite opponent, but to win the game the way they did without, their point guard who is having an all-star worthy season, that tells me a lot, about just the culture of the team. They had plenty of excuses not to win that game. It was the same thing, early back in January when they played in Oklahoma City when they were down by 18 at one point. It would have been understandable if they had lost that game, but instead they came back and won it. And we're seeing a toughness in this team, an identity that, that they're going to keep fighting and they're going to try to find ways to win. And Monday night, Brandon Goodwin coming off the bench and having a massive impact the way he did, that was absolutely tremendous. Just seeing how ready he was for that moment when, with Rajon Rondo struggling to find any kind of offense, Goodwin really stepped up in a big way. And then those two defensive stops they had at the end, Isaac Okoro hitting some free throws. It's good for the growth of this team that, they could play without Darius Garland. It didn't look pretty by any stretch of the imagination. It's understandable without a point guard, but just finding ways to win is just what matters in the NBA as much as any other professional league. And the Cavs did that Monday night.